Bear Academy.
Welcome to the final and true route of Scion Uta. Let's hop in, shall we? This time we face our fears and confront Fuminori head-on. It's time to finish this. Just as he promised earlier, Koji calls Fuminori again. The call goes through immediately. Fuminori must have been waiting for it. Hey Koji, where are you? What difference does it make? As soon as Koji responds, a shrill ringing fills the house. Startled, Koji spins around and looks into the hallway. The house phone is flashing to signal an incoming call. I see. I figured you'd be at my house. Koji fell for it. Fuminori is the one calling the house. And now he knows exactly where Koji is. He must have predicted that this would be Koji's first stop. That Koji would call him upon finding it empty. So I guess you've already seen everything. Yeah, Koji keeps his voice bold to conceal his horror. When did Fuminori become so cunning? It looks like you've become quite the man-eater since we last met. Just how many people have you killed? Actually, I've only killed one so far, Fuminori replies unapologetically, his tone upbeat. I've taken apart 3 or 4 though. I'm getting pretty good at removing the tendons and draining the blood and such. Koji no longer feels sadness or horror when faced with Fuminori's inhumanity. There's only the cold desire to kill the creature speaking such revolting words to his friend's voice. You killed Omi, didn't you, you bastard? You were lying when you said you hadn't seen her. I wonder, Fuminori mutters, seeming somehow embarrassed. I guess the first one I ate might have been Omi. It was the same day she disappeared, come to think of it. The body wasn't in any shape that I could identify. Koji had already abandoned hope, but it's still a shock to hear of his lover's brutal end. Tsukuba too? No, Fuminori says with an exasperated chuckle. She's here, like I promised. I'm no fool. I needed to trade with you, right? I won't waste her. Let me hear her voice. Nah, you probably don't want to. I don't think that's possible. She's in no shape to talk. Fuminori's dismissive words further sharpen Koji's bloodlust. You forget what I said. If you don't let her go unharmed... Come on, be happy that she's still alive. Or would you rather have Yoa's corpse? I mean, her being a corpse is better than her current state. Let's get this straight, Koji. You bring your evidence along with all the files you've gathered. When I'm satisfied that they're the real thing, I'll hand you over. Fine. It's obvious that this deal is a sham. In all likelihood, Fuminori is planning to kill him and bury his secrets forever. Moreover, Koji doubts that Yo is even alive. Her meat could very well be somewhere in the refrigerator right in front of him. However, Koji isn't particularly interested in Fuminori's true intentions. After all, he has no intention of making a trade either. His only goal is to get close enough to destroy Fuminori and whatever is pulling his strings. Where? You remember Dr. Ogai's house? The one you followed me to? Let's meet there tonight at 7. Come along. Hey. Fuminori hangs up without waiting for Koji's response. Perhaps Fuminori too has sensed his opponent's intent. If so, then he has realized that Koji is not just the hunted, but the hunter as well. So we're like duelists maneuvering for advantage. Koji smiles grimly as he pockets his phone. It's astounding how much their relationship has changed. The question is whether or not to comply with the 7 o'clock rendezvous agreement. If this were a serious negotiation, then it would be wise to avoid preempting Fuminori in any way that could provoke his anger. What Koji and Fuminori are really doing, however, is trying to lure each other into a deadly trap. Koji doesn't know about what Fuminori plans to do between now and then, but he's not about to let his enemy keep the initiative. The fierce bloodlust that has taken root in his heart is more than enough to energize his exhausted body. Koji leaves the death-filled house, his stride more determined than before. It's kind of wild how Koji has become the protagonist of the story. And Fuminori the antagonist. And the villain. Koji has nothing to do but wait. He has spent almost half a day in the dark, empty studying, breathing stale air choked with mold as he strains his ears for the slightest hint of movement below. Few people could endure such a vigil, but Koji has accomplished it without a complaint. If anything, the suffering is welcome, for it keeps his nerves honed to raise his edge. Without a doubt, his single-minded focus is the only thing allowing him to push the limits of his stamina. Koji understands this and embraces the pain. His closest friend has shattered his will like glass, and now Koji feels only hate towards the madness that has replaced it, and toward himself for allowing it to happen. Self-loathing is a more reliable source of willpower than any faith or resolve, no matter how noble. When he arrived at the ogre's house, Koji snuck inside carefully, hoping to perhaps take his enemy by surprise. It was only after he got inside that he realized the house was still abandoned. Even so, Koji was sure that Fuminori would arrive earlier than promised in order to set up an ambush. However, the light streaming down the windows turned red, then faded to darkness, with no sign of anyone coming. Koji's patience has grown weaker and weaker by the moment. And now the appointment time has arrived. Just as Koji's frustration is about to peak, his phone begins to vibrate and flash. It's from Fuminori. He's calling rather than showing up himself. Rage threatens to overwhelm him for an instant, but Koji manages to keep his voice calm as he answers. What's going on here, Fuminori? Well, I was worried that you might be wasting energy on something silly like planning an ambush, Fuminori says, chuckling scornfully. It's kinda late, but I guess I should tell you the real meeting place before you lose your mind. Did I make it in time? Son of a bitch. Come on, don't get mad. I'm just being careful, right? Fuminori laughs with unrestrained malevolence, as though to emphasize that he's seen through Koji's plans. Assuming you're at Dr. Ogai's house, there's a place nearby within walking distance. Yo and I are there. I'll give you the address. You should be able to find it on your car's GPS. You have proof this isn't another trick? If you're that paranoid, you don't have to come. Just turn and tail and run. Fuminori hangs up immediately after speaking this challenge. Koji leaps out of his chair and kicks it across the room, unable to find any other outlet for his rage. He has no choice but to do what Fuminori says. His stamina is already exhausted, only his obsession is keeping him going. If he allows himself even a moment's rest, he fears that he'll never again find the strength to face his madness. Tonight is his only chance to kill Fuminori. Koji knows, of course, that his enemy is planning to ambush him. Fuminori isn't going to fight fair, but then neither is Koji. With the unsteady stride of a man half asleep, Koji leaves the Ogai house and heads for his car. Okay, so I believe this is where the route splits. Sadly, there was no way to save Yo, so unfortunately, she is gone. Yep, and now Saya has killed Koji. I see. My mind hazy from the pain, I watch as Saya feasts upon her slain prey. Yep, there we go. We've won. It was hard, and I wasn't able to do it alone. But together, we have defeated our enemy. The price was steep, At least 2 of my ribs are broken, sending a sharp pain shooting through my chest every time I breathe. And then there's Yo. I didn't expect her to fall to Koji so easily. I suppose that, unlike Saya, she might have been unfamiliar with how to use her new body in combat. My injury must have fueled Saya's anger. Her slaughter of Koji was merciless and complete. As soon as the prey stopped moving, she sank her teeth into his vital organs and ruthlessly extinguished the last embers of life. Though her brutal, grisly actions were unbecoming of her girlish appearance, Saya's face, covered in blood and gore, was that of a victorious queen of beasts lording over her defeated foe. There was something noble and sacred about her primal ferocity that made me reluctant to disturb her. I don't know how long I've been sitting here watching Saya feast. I've nearly fainted from the pain several times. To be honest, I'm not used to violence. The wounds I suffered in the car accident were worse, of course, but these broken ribs are the most severe injury that's ever been deliberately inflicted upon me. You'd think that Saya could show a little more concern for my condition. Koji's already as dead as can be, so there's no reason for her to be so greedy. I suddenly realized that Saya stopped eating. Now she's lying on her back, rolling from side to side. Has she eaten too much? It's been several days since we've had fresh, unfrozen meat, so I understand where her enthusiasm is coming from. But still, I'm wounded here. She could give me a hand. Because I'm preoccupied with my own selfish wants, I'm slow to realize that something is wrong. Saya isn't resting, she's trembling in agony. My blood goes cold and the pain from my broken ribs is suddenly forgotten. Saya? I jump up, run to her side, and cradle her fallen body in my arms. Her face is pale and drenched in sweat, and her half-closed eyelids and lips are shivering like she has fever. What's going on? Was she wounded in the fight? Could the meat she just ate have been poisoned somehow? I don't understand. All I know is that something terrible is happening. Saya, Saya. The only thing I can do is call her name with all my strength. Saya slowly opens her eyes and gazes vacantly into my face. Sorry, Fuminori, I'm fine, really. It's just hurts a little. What's wrong? What is it? Come on, Saya. There's no way she's fine. It's glaringly obvious that her condition is dire. Even so, I'm the only one who's panicking. Saya's expression is serene, as though she understands everything that is happening to her. She even smiles softly at me. I can't believe it. I never thought it would come so soon. Are you pregnant? I might lose Saya. The thought is unbearable. Terror and despair are quickly overwhelming me, a feeling of utter helplessness that I cannot resist. Don't be afraid. Remember what I said. This is the sign. This is our only hope. What are you talking about? I don't understand. Stay with me, Saya. Saya answers my tearful entreaty with a smile like that of a mother comforting a child. I did it. I decided to do my best. After all, you said you loved me. You said that I was pretty. Stop this. Whatever's happening, I can't just sit by and watch it as it causes Saya such agony. Please, whatever you're trying to do, I don't want to see you suffer. Don't be like that, Saya chides me. Please understand. In a soft voice, she reveals the secret. They're going to be born, our children. I fucking knew it. No, come on. Okay. For a moment, my mind goes completely blank. What? But when did you... I'm surprised too, Fuminori? Saya's labor breathing speaks to the terrible pain in her tiny body suffering. Even so, she wraps her arms tightly around my neck. Take me outside, to an open place, under the sky. I nod. What else can I do? If I speak, I'm afraid that I'll be unable to hold back my tears. I mustn't cry, not when Saya's facing her torment so bravely. It feels like Saya's burning up in my arms, and I fear that the terrible convulsion that shoots through her at intervals will tear her frail body to pieces. Praying for her safety, I scoop Saya up and carry her swiftly out the ruined building. Maybe the cold night air will soothe her fever, but that hope is futile, cruelty dashed as her breathing grows shallow as she moans through her bruising lips. Saya, we're outside. In response to my call, she opens her eyes once more. Her gaze is cloudy and unfocused, she can no longer see. Nevertheless, Saya looks at me. I can tell that she is imagining my expression where my face should be. Just as I promised, this is my final present. I know. I hope you like it. Children? Okay. Little, tiny, gross, cute flesh children. Takes every ounce of my willpower, but I managed to make my voice light and cheerful. In Saya's mind eye, I know that I'm smiling. She won't have to see my face streaked with tears. Fuminori, to you who loved me, I give this planet The whole planet. Isn't that a bit much? Oh, don't tell me she's somehow going to transform the whole planet so it looks really beautiful to Fuminori's eyes, but to everyone else it's just gross and icky? Saya's whisper is weak and pained, but there is ecstasy in her voice. Ecstasy and joy. Her back suddenly shifts and bulges outward. This world will be beautiful. Yep, called it. Ah, damn it. She whispers in exultation. A world just for us. And then Saya blooms. How else can I describe it? Flower petals, long and wide, spread from her back like wings of a newly formed butterfly. A brilliant glow comes from the countless tiny scales that uncover each petal like particles of light. Is this goodbye? I ask her, careful to keep the sorrow in my voice. No, not goodbye. This is the beginning. Saya's pain must already have left her. Her expression is infinitely peaceful and content. The beginning of our world. Are they really going to fuse? Radiant motes rise on the wind, painting rivers of light in the frozen winter sky. It is beautiful, overwhelming, painfully beautiful. Singing victoriously of their freedom, the shining seeds of life are released into the vast and fertile land. So this is a song of Saya, isn't it? Their song heralds the coming of the new world and the destruction of the old. It is a boundless healing. It is an eternal blessing. We shall fill the world with our joy. Now we'll be together forever, won't we? Embracing Saya's pitiful shrunken body, I gaze into the shining sky and let my tears flow freely. Thank you. Thank you for this final gift, Saya. She was worried at first how long the preserved foods in the underground storeroom would last her, but now it seems that her fears were unfounded. It's the liquor she should have worried about. By savoring each drop of spiritus as though it were her last, she thought that she could take her flask hold out a little longer, but she must have been consuming more each day than she realized. Who can blame her? There's no way that she could have gotten through this without the intoxicating effects of distilled alcohol. Doesn't spiritus make you blind? You know, just asking. After Ryoko chased useless emotions like hope and despair from her mind, she found herself spending the most peaceful days of her life. Her resignation set in, even hate and fear left her. Now she feels only awe for what Ogai Masahiko did and respect for the depth of his intellectual curiosity. After all, neither she nor this world has any reason left to deny his research. Alone in the mountain cabin, Ryoko killed time by bringing order to the documents that Ogai had left behind. She took the scattered and ciphered papers and rewrote them in a more readable fashion, eliminating redundancies and adding indexes and tables of contents. Ryoko did not intend for anyone to read them, of course. She knew full well how meaningless their actions were. With her reason to live gone, however, having something to devote her mind to was at least some relief. And now, as the last congratulatory drops of spiritus vodka burned their way down Ryoko's throat, all of Ogai's research lies before her in a single volume. She's finally finished transcribing and annotating the last of his writings. Enjoying the satisfaction of a pointless job well done, she idly pages through the manuscripts that she has just completed. I shall conclude by summarizing my theory as it currently stands. The life form that I named Saya did not appear in our universe by chance, nor even as a result of my summoning, but because of the instincts that were programmed directly into her biology. She was created to fulfill the same ultimate purpose that all life shares: reproduction. Saya and her kind procreate by spreading their seeds to other dimensions. Oh. What's the probability that they will discover a doorway to another world? Even if they succeed in doing so, the chance of that world being suitable for reproduction must be even more minute. In order to make the most of that scant probability, evolution has granted them a certain advantage, none other than the astonishing ability that I've witnessed in Saya. To wit, they select the most prosperous life form that they encounter, take control of it, and in doing so gain dominance over that planet's biosphere. In other words, they hijack the entire species. Damn, okay. They do this by analyzing their target's genome, then overriding its genetic code to remake it in their own image. Saya's biology is more than capable of inducing such dramatic and widespread mutation. There is a significant probability that the target species will have evolved into intelligent life. This element may be necessary to gaining control of the planet's environment. So, what Fuminori saw all this time was not just an illusion, but like looking into a different reality? I mean, obviously. Therefore, Saya and her sisters also plunder their target's culture and psychology. Her extraordinary learning ability and intellectual curiosity are likely instinctive tools that enable her to inherit the target species' entire wealth of knowledge. In fact, it may be that Saya's kind has always had its sights set on intelligent life. Perhaps they wait patiently for some foolish extra-dimensional species to gain knowledge of other worlds and, in attempting to satisfy its curiosity, make contact with the outer universe in which they dwell. Rather than send Saya and her kin on their dimensional journeys with only luck and their own strength to depend on, would not waiting for such contact greatly increase the chance of finding a world worthy of conquest? Just as I, having acquired the silver key, fancied myself an explorer of the unknown, how many intelligent life forms on other worlds have thoughtlessly congratulated themselves for discovering Saya's sisters. Taken by the sudden urge to go outside for a change, Ryoko gathers up the manuscript and heads to her car, which is parked in the front yard. She has completed her self-imposed final duty. There's no longer any reason for her to remain holed up in the mountain cabin. She drives a little farther up the mountain to an open place that offers a scenic view of the land below. In the early days of the change, Ryoko often came to the spot to watch helplessly over the mutilating city. The one flaw in my theory comes from none other than Saya herself. After using me to learn everything she could about humanity, Saya should finally have been prepared to begin the last stage of her invasion. However, she never carried out her mission. Why? I hypothesize that Saya was an irregular among her kind. It is said that the human race's intelligence has allowed us to conquer our natural instincts. Perhaps, in absorbing the human psyche, Saya accidentally inherited the disease that infects our entire species. What is human love, really? What behavior could be more of a hindrance than the efficient propagation of a species? I am reminded of how, at the end of her studies, Saya consumed vast quantities of romantic literature from all over the world. She tried to understand romance as an integral part of the human reproductive progress. As a result, she might have unwittingly neutered her own unparalleled reproductive abilities. After all, she had not known love. She had come to this world to rule it in our place, and had studied humanity to fulfill that purpose, but ultimately she could not share love with a human. Without love's blessing, Saya was unable to find the passion to fill this world with her kind. So Fuminori doomed the entire human species with that damn condition he had. In learning all that there was to know about humanity, she herself had become hopelessly human. Weary of loneliness, she despaired of the world. How pure her maiden soul must have been. If this hypothesis is correct, then it means that I have failed as a teacher. I cannot help but feel ashamed for having spoiled such an extraordinary organism. Saya. Next to Oga and Masahiko, Ryoko now knows more about that entity than anyone else. No, when the young man named Sakisaka Fuminori is added to the running, perhaps she only comes in third. In the end, she never encountered the creature face to face. She would like to have met it once though. If Oga's analysis of Saya's psychology is correct, then it must have been Sakisaka who restored her desire to conquer the world. Perhaps, as Sakisaka's chief physician, Ryoko played some role in bringing that lonely young man and Saya together, in which case she should at least have had the right to attend their wedding to end all weddings. She might even have changed them at a matchmaker's fee. And now the world is changing. I have a dream that one day my daughter will know the blessings of love. I pray that there will come a day when her heart burns with the flames of passion and her world becomes bright and joyous once more. When that day comes, Saya, your terrible, irresistible purpose will surely consume us, that your progeny may flourish, the whole world will know your love and be reborn. What wonders the future holds. I deeply regret that I must end my life before I can see that day comes, but the footsteps of those who would destroy my dream grow closer by the hour. If I seal my lips in death, then their grasping hands will not reach you. Please forgive me, my daughter, for leaving you alone in this barren world. With the knowledge that you now possess, I know that you will find your own path. The radiance of your hard-won soul shall light the road ahead. Have no fear, have no doubt. March onward, until you reach your answer at last. And I, Saya, will dream forever of the world that you will create. Perhaps it is the isolated environment or the mountain air. Maybe she's just more resistant to change. Whatever the case, Ryoko has not yet become as inhuman as the creatures wriggling through the city below. She does not know exactly how many people on this planet could still be called human, but she's one of what must be only a handful of survivors who are left to watch over the end of mankind. Of course, it's only a matter of time before she changes too. It has been 3 days since she chopped off her right hand, which had ceased to function as anything resembling a human hand. But the itching that has spread across her entire back is growing more intolerable by the hour. She could look in a mirror to see what she is becoming, but she doubts that it would make her happy. Ryoko thinks that maybe it would be best to just go to sleep here, with the world spread out before her. When she awakens, perhaps she will be ready to descend the mountain and join in the city's revelries, or maybe she won't even need such resolve anymore. Whatever the case, Ryoko thinks dreamily as she licks the very last drop from her flask. Even after I stop being human, I hope I still enjoy the taste of booze. And that's it? No credits? Or did I just skip them there? Ah, damn it. Can I just... Staff comment? What's that? Oh no, open the browser. Oh well, whatever. That was Sayonota. Now it's slow. Now it's small for some reason. I might have just accidentally skipped the credits there. Ah, whatever. I could just give my final thoughts on this game. Also, we can look at the CGs. Oh no, we cannot. Nope. No, we cannot. I forgot. But man, like this game, it's quite incredible. I must say, it is life-changing, I'd say. And I'm honestly stumped right now. Like, wow, that was such an intense experience. To be fair, most of the sex scenes were unnecessary, so you absolutely do not miss out on the experience if you choose to play the censored Steam version. But man, yeah, all the characters, the story, the dialogues, the whole world building, Saya being like an eldritch being that procreates through dimensions, it's also so freaking good. Wow, but with that, we have seen all 3 endings that this game has to offer. One bad ending, one quote-unquote good ending, and one, well, true ending, which is still bad, where Saya and Fuminori conquer the world and make it their own. Wow. Incredible. It's like one of those endings where you need to step away from the computer and just let it sink. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I certainly did. It was a phenomenal experience. And I hope I will see you again for the next project. Until then, Ultimate Despair signing out.
Ultimate Despair Live.